Welcome to ATP Customs. Well, today we are installing a 2.5-inch lift kit on a 92 F-150. It is a rough country lift kit, and I have never done a rough country kit of any kind, and I also haven't done a forward lift kit of any kind. Mr. White has done the one on his Bronco. That was a 6-inch BDS kit, which was really nice. I assisted him a little bit on that install, but haven't done one of these yet. So we're going to see what this rough country kit is like. And what do you get with a 2.5-inch lift? You get some coil springs, you get some shocks, you get the 2 brackets for the twin I-beams, and then you get some drop brackets for your radius arms. Lots of bolts. And we also had to bring in a new bracket for the leaf springs shackle because the one on the truck is completely rotted out. So as I'm looking this over, the brackets all look fairly decent, but the rear blocks are not really a block. They're not a solid block. It's literally just one little plate in the middle, and then they weld these around them. I am not a fan of that at all. They also are a tapered one, and they sit on your factory forward blocks, which here, if I remember correctly, you can't actually stack blocks, but for some reason Fords you can get away with it because they have a block from the factory. So the customer also supplied an entire Prothane motion controlled bushing kit, which has every bushing in the truck in case we need it. And we got a set of wheel spacers for some reason. I'm guessing he wants a wider stance. Maybe he's going to a different set of wheels and tires. Not sure. But we are about to install this kit. Oh, we also have a rough country steering stabilizer kit for it. So we're about to see what this kit's like to install. And the truck we are working on is very rusty. Has a lot of oil leaking. We just had to do a bunch of brake work on it, and the transmission's leaking. So we're solving all those little issues mechanically right now. And of course I took one shock off, and the other side, the bolts heads are all rounded off. So guess we're getting the torch out for this one. I'm not expecting it to be a fun job on this truck, seeing how everything's rusted and oily and seized. But let's see how it goes. Okay, we have a lift kit installed. And before I continue, I did not realize, I just found out about a half hour ago after we're actually done this thing, that you can buy this lift kit off of Rough Country's website for $3.99 Canadian for a 2.5-inch kit that comes with blocks, brackets, shocks. That's really good, because if you're buying, say, a 6-inch BDS lift for this, you're probably going to be $1,800, $2,000, depending on where you're getting it from. Just a rough guess off the top of my head. And we're comparing this install to some of the lift kits we've done around here. We have done a whole bunch of Pro Comp lifts. We've done a lot of BDS lifts. Done a FabTech one. I'm trying to think. We've done a Bilstein lift. We've done quite a few, but never done a rough country. And I actually only have one complaint about rough country's lift, but because it's $3.99, it's not a big deal. The 2 brackets that go under the I-beams, you can't really see them, but that bracket there, and then the one that goes in the back where that shiny bolt is, they actually don't come with the bolts pre-drilled in the front. You have to get it all set up and then drill from behind with the oil pan in your way, and it's quite a pain. That's it. I don't understand why they wouldn't drill 2 bolt holes. And the plates, whatever they're made out of, are actually harder to drill through than the actual frame of this truck. I found that amazing. We spent money on all new heavy duty drill bits, and they struggle to get through those rough country plates. My goodness. That's impressive. Steering stabilizer, kind of a weird setup to me. I've never seen one on these trucks. Mr. White just installed that. Looks pretty basic. I guess we'll see how it lasts. I'm curious how long these shocks last, being in there $3.99 compared to BDS shocks that I've been running on all of my trucks. So we'll keep tabs on that. That won't be in this video. I'm sure this truck will be around a little more. But the basic install, if it wasn't for a bunch of rusty bolts and stuff, isn't too bad. The bolts they supply for the brackets, I think, should all be 1/4 inch shorter, because there's some going through the side, some going through underneath, and you start having problems of the nuts running into the bolts on the inside of the bracket. And if all of the bolts were just 1/4 inch shorter, you would not have any of that problem. But it's exactly what he wanted. And because they're going to bigger size bolts, you will have to drill through this mount, all the holes through that mount, as well as the frame and all the ones in the bottom. So there's a lot of drilling involved compared to, say, a BDS or a better quality lift kit. But all in all, everything in the kit has fit pretty decently, with 0 issues on the kit itself. Just happens to be a truck that didn't want to come apart, that's all. Better look under the back end too. I forgot that part. The back end is very basic. Now, the truck has been out since we did the lift kit. It's actually been out 4-wheeling already. And basically you just have a set of blocks, you got some U-bolts, and you have some shocks. Not a lot to deal with in the back. It's pretty reasonable. Oh yes, the one thing they do not send you is shock boots. You don't get any shock boots with the kit. For a whopping $4 each, you don't get shock boots. Just so you know. And being it's only a 2.5 inch lift, you may or may not need an alignment. Every truck is different. This one did go in for an alignment, and it was out a little bit. But that is per truck. I believe with anything 4 inch or 6 inch, you obviously have to get it realigned every single time. And with the spacers installed, I was actually surprised. I thought they would stick out, but they do not stick out at all. After putting the 2.5 inch lift, the tires were tucked in quite a bit. I guess it must be the offset of these wheels. And that's why I wanted the spacers on it, because they were rubbing right there. But all in all, the truck feels really wonderful. Like, it rides really nice for a worn out, tired work truck. I'm impressed. $399 is definitely a tough price to compete with. I know there's a ton of guys doing reviews on this lift kit. We've never had one in the shop. And I was thinking, nope, never going to put one in the shop. Well, I guess we did. And it worked out. It's actually a really decent kit. So that's your review on this thing. So thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe.